Yes, YouTube, welcome back to another video and thanks for joining me. So the snow is coming down outside. I don't know what the weather's like with you, but it really feels like winter now, which is giving us even more reason to stay indoors, especially what's going on in the world at the moment. It makes me eternally grateful I've got such an amazing hobby that keeps me busy, my mind active, and we can do it indoors. Now I know a lot of you really like the content I put out and adding some plants into Bert's enclosure the other day. So I've been out to my local reptile store and picked up some plants, as I always do. And we've got something for all the bioactive enclosures today. So if you want to see what's in these enclosures, how they're set up, and find out even more about them, then make sure you don't go anywhere, because that's all coming up right after this. Watering and hydration here and humidity. Start again. Okay, so I've been shopping, but I hope, oh sorry, I have no morning coffee yet. So I've been down to my local reptile store. I wanted to pick up a new light for the fire-bellied toad enclosure just because I want to add some LED lighting on there. Now in one of the last videos I did mention I was looking into the Zoom-Ed lighting just because it has a combination of UV and also LED lights, but when I looked into it a little bit more, they are high output UV lights, which are not probably suitable for the fire bellies. A lot of care sheets you'll see to say the fire bellies don't need UVB, but what I would recommend is a low wattage UVB or a shade dweller, which would be ideal. So we're not going to go with the Zoom-Ed items for this setup, but I have got another product in mind, which I've ordered in my local reptile store, and I'll give you an update on that as soon as it comes in. But I picked up some plants for all the setups today, so there's something for everybody, so we'll take a look at each of them individually, and we may do some maintenance and a few odd things as we go around. So if something interests you, then make sure you stay tuned. As always, if you're a new viewer, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on the future videos. And let's just crack on with today. Okay, so this is my 3x3 by 1.5 foot deep enclosure for my female nightingale Castro. So we've taken a look at this tank a couple of videos ago. So basically I want to try and replace the substrate, just try and get a bit more nutrients in there. Like I mentioned in the intro, I've probably learned a few things since then. I think this is pretty much just cocoa fiber and any earth that come on any of the plants when they went in here. So it's probably the most nutritious for the plants, and it's probably, as you can see, some of the plants not doing great. I originally collected some moss from outdoors as well and added it in here, but it hasn't really done very well. So I'm probably going to change this to leaf litter eventually, and I've ordered some of that and that'll be coming very soon. But now we've added some proper plant lighting on here, I want to make sure that we stay on top of this and we keep this as covered for Castro as we possibly can, keep the plants as healthy and the environment as rich as we can for it. So why don't we go ahead and add some plants now and we'll crack on with the rest of the video. Okay, so we made some changes, so I'm really happy with the ficus tree down there. Now again, like I said, some of the plants on the room looking the greatest on the bottom, so we'll probably look to do some work around that in the future. But I've added some bromeliads. Now if you see me use that wire technique where I pin them in, if you want to go and see how I do that in a bit more detail, I'll put the link above as well, so you can go and check that video out. It's only a couple of minutes long to show you exactly what I do. Now I did this one a while ago when I filmed it, and it's in one of the old videos you've probably seen, but they started to flop forward just because I had so many pups, so I just secured it a bit better there with an extra bit of wire. So that was fine, but I'm really happy with some of these broms. They've already gotten flowers in them, the new ones we added in, so that's great. Added a bit of pothos in there as well, try and thicken things out, and there's Castro being moody. Get a closer picture. What's up with you, Grumpy? I think she's a bit grouchy because she's going into the shed, so. But yeah, overall, so the main thing to do now really is to give her a good spray down. So I'll give her a spray down, and the glass needs a wipe down as well, so we may as well do that now. So let's just get it done. Okay, so this is my Paludarium for my fire-belly toads, and it's a 45 by 45 by 45 centimeter Exoterra glass terrarium. We've turned it into a Paludarium. Now, something slightly different to this you normally see, I did turn this Paludarium on its side, so the doors are on the side just to get a full viewing panel, which I prefer. The only problem with that is there's only certain places in the room that you can put it, and this isn't going to stay there. Eventually, when we get a racking system for more reptiles on that wall, it'll go on that side, and we're gonna have a full Paludarium's 4-foot setup there. What it's gonna house, I don't yet know, but I've got some ideas. I know a few of you got some suggestions. As always, if you've got any ideas or you want to include any input into it, then hit me up in the comment section below. But we did add some fish into this maybe a month or so ago, and they've done well. We did have initially 5 golden white cloud minnows in here. One did pass away the following day, which can be expected from time to time with fish, but the rest are doing well. There are 3 males and 1 female in here, so I'm either going to remove one of the males and add some more females in. But when I did initially picture fish in this, I did ideally want the regular mountain cloud minnows, so I might remove them and add them into a different tank and add some regular white cloud minnows in here. I'm not quite sure yet. But I am due to go down to my local fish shop tomorrow, and I'm hoping they have some blue dream shrimp, which I want to add into this tank as well, just to help with the maintenance and just help with the algae in the tank as well. We don't have too many issues with it because there's only UVB light running on this tank at the moment, and like I said, I will be adding some LED lighting on it. But we've got some more plans for it, so enough of me talking, let's crack on and get this done. Okay, so we didn't have too many plants in. I just seen some mondo grass, which don't often see down my local reptile store. The root systems on them were crazy, absolutely huge. So added a few more in now, and I like the way this tank's growing in at the moment, to be honest. The aquatic plants are doing pretty well. The only thing that I'm not so chuffed about is probably the baby tears. Haven't kicked off as much as they did last time, but As you can see, the frogs are liable to trample on them, so I suppose they'll grow in time. But really enjoying this tank at the moment. Like I said, there'll probably be some changes to this again, whether we're going to change the fish up. We're definitely going to add some shrimp, so that'll be a video soon to come, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. But why don't we move on and add some plants in the bird's enclosure. Okay, so the terrarium you see behind me is the latest setup we made in this room. Now this is a 4 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot XL reptile breed enclosure, which I completely lined and waterproofed with acrylic sheets and did an expanding foam background as a fully bioactive setup. So if you want to see how I made this, then the build playlist is down in the description below as well. But for most of you, this is probably quite a common sight. You'll always see this terrarium when I'm sat at my desk. So this is the tank that's probably had the most attention recently, we obviously being new as well, but I've also been trying to improve on the lighting and heating situation, as well as the hydration and humidity system. So we're going to carry on looking to adapt this and try and improve the care for these animals as best we can in future videos. If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell. But we do have a jungle dawn on here. This has been running on there since the start of this tank, and the plants are really benefiting from it. Like, there's some plants that didn't work out in the end, and I removed and we added some plants a couple of videos ago to this. But as always, there's never enough plants. I can always add more. So why don't we go ahead now and add some more in here, and then we'll crack on with the rest of the video. Okay, so not a massive amount of plants again in this one, mainly the plants for Castro, but what are you doing, bird? He does this, he just likes hanging like that. Why do you do that? But anyway, so we've added some plants in there, managed to stuff some at the back. Now, I did add an air plant in there just because that's where the fogger, I don't know if you can see that actually, but that's where the fogger is. I'm hoping that'll keep that hydrated. And we just added a little bit of pothos down there as well. But that was pretty much it in here. We had a little spray down, didn't we, Bert? And this tank's looking pretty good, but not too many in this one because it's added quite a lot of plants, a lot of attention recently. So I'm pretty happy with the way it's growing in. So we just continue to stay on top of it and keep an eye on this little guy. And yeah. Okay, let's crack on with the rest of the video. Yeah? Do you want to? No? Well, we're gonna. Okay, so great we got that done, and the enclosures are looking a little bit better, and that would be my advice to anybody getting into this sort of hobby with bioactive setups especially, and even aquascapes and planted tanks, would be, I know when I make builds I'll get a massive delivery plants and chuck them pretty much all in there, but a lot of times certain plants don't work out and you're not really going to know where they're going to work out in certain points of your enclosure, because sometimes certain places are too hot, not enough light, you get the picture. So my advice for anybody would be is, if you're going to start your first bioactive setup, maybe try a smaller scale one. Especially, plants are really expensive. Even just those plants there wasn't that many. It was about £60, but the proper price should have been about 75. I just get a bit discount, so can be an expensive hobby. So my advice would be is to try, you're going to have a handful of plants that you're going to have success with, continue with those and try and add new ones into your arsenal, I suppose, and you'll get used to those, you'll be more confident in using them, and you'll know for definite whereabouts in your scape or terrarium or paludarium that they actually work out. So picking up plants as and when you see them is always a good idea. I do that all the time. I'm always adding new plants, especially into Castro's tank and Bert's tank recently. So when you see them, pick them up. You may never see them again, and it might be the perfect plant for you that you haven't come across yet and works out in your setup. But a massive thanks from me if you stuck through to this point in the video. I love you all, the people who stay until the end the most. So if you can do me a massive favour, if you're not already, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, if you're a regular viewer, you can do me a massive favour and drop me that thumbs up and leave me a comment to show YouTube you're enjoying this sort of content and allows you to make more videos like these. There's plenty more content to come around bioactive setups, aquascaping, reptiles and tropical fish, so don't miss out, hit that notification bell and I'll see you in the next video.